with college football. Is analytics in college football more, the question is it more helpful or is it more hurtful in college football? I think it's great in the NFL. Does that vary to college football, or am I reaching here? What's your takes, Steve?
I don't think it's a reach. I think what happens in these scenarios is every situation in a football game is rehearsed. It's all been practiced. They give the ball to the offense at the 35-yard line with no timeouts, and they have to run a 1-minute drill. They practice going forward on fourth down on a 1 hash mark. They practice going forward on another hash mark. They practice a 4-minute drill. A 4-minute drill is when you have the ball and you're trying to kill the clock, but you don't want to give the ball back to the other team with any time to work with. How do you kill 4 minutes, right? Every situation that you see in college football, in professional football, even in high school football to a certain degree at this point, depending on what level you're watching, has been practiced. It's been rehearsed. I don't believe that the analytics really matter because that's the coach's decision based on what he sees and what he follows and what he believes based on the situation. When it comes to the players are just going to execute the plays based on what they've practiced over and over and over again.
So hold on,
there's not as much emotion there.
So before I want to answer this, but I don't want to get too far. So your answer then is you don't believe analytics are hurting college football. You're supporting the argument of analytics. What you're saying is supporting the analytical argument, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You can continue. I just wanted to make sure because you didn't.
You
said it without saying it. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. No. I believe that analytics are a coach function. It's not a player function. I don't think it hurts the emotion at all. These guys go into plays that they've practiced a million times in certain situations. I think,
and that's why the analytical argument is there. Correct.
Right.
Okay.
It's a bit, but they're just running the play that they've practiced a million times. I don't think there's as much emotion that comes into it as we get from watching it on the outside looking in.
Okay. Perfect. I disagree, and here's why.
I know. I figured.
And this is what I was going back to saying the NFL is robotic in the sense of, yes, those guys run a play and it's if A, then B. And I relate this to putting too, right? If you line up your putt, you hit your stroke. You don't overthink it. You don't try to do anything cute. You just hit it. If it falls, great. If it doesn't, you misread it. It is what it is, but you have to trust your putt. The NFL does that. I don't believe the same correlates to college football because when you give the ball to somebody like Anthony Richardson or you give the ball to Trevor Eaton, I watched it too many times against Eastern Washington. We went for it on fourth down and we didn't get it. The reason being is because emotion got involved. And here's what I mean. They tossed it over to Trevor, and instead of going north and south, the what you would do in practice, because you don't care to make a play in practice, you just care to keep moving the chains, which is that analytical thinking. He planted his foot and tried to make a move to make a big play to break out, right? And gets tackled. That's where the emotional part comes into play, where once you're in the NFL, that idea of that I have to make it or prove myself isn't as important as it is in college football, where somebody like a Trevor who's trying to make a name of himself, and even though he's doing a great job, he's still there. Anthony Richardson, Jalen Kitna took too long to throw on one of the passes because he wanted to make a big play. He wanted to show out like, I can do this too, instead of just following the rules. So that's why I think there is a point in where college football where, yes, they're helping to an extent, but I think there is a case of point of where you had, as a coach, you should take a step back and look and say, we've been getting slammed all night. The offensive confidence is not there. The O-line's doing their job, but the running back and the quarterback don't believe in their O-line or vice versa. And so they're going to try to do something outside of what the numbers show, which then eliminates the analytical part, right? The analytical part tells me that you run north and south no matter what happens. Whether you see somebody or don't see somebody, that is the play is that. But you as a kid are going to think, I can do this because you're an 18 full of piss and vinegar. I'm talented. And look, if you get it, you're the man. And sometimes they do, and that's a problem too, is that they are successful, and now you're successful 2 or 3 times, and now you believe that you can do it, which to me, kind of that's where the analytical part goes out of the way. It was a long way of getting there, but I think we kind of made our point both ways, but that's where I disagree with you on that.
No, I get it. But look, if you're the coach, the way that you coach is we have run this play before in this scenario in practice 15 times. all 15 times when there was nothing on the line, you did your job. Everybody did their job. Nobody had to be different. Just do your job. And all you have to do is get the first down by the nose of the football. You don't have to put your foot down and make a big play. Just everyone do their job. You're teaching kids who have a ton of emotion to be robotic and systematic. And I think to your point, they're not there yet.
Yeah.
But if they follow the coaching the right way, especially after they've been practicing this the same way all week or all season, just do it the way we've been practicing. Stop trying to make things on the fly. Do it the way we practice. You only need the first down by a nose. So it can go both ways. You're right. Everybody wants to make that big play. And in the NFL, I think they stop thinking about that because they already have their money. They already have the bag. But the college players are always looking for that one big break where they could just find the seam and just off they go untouched. I see where you're coming from.
NFL is in a weird way is more team oriented in a sense of they are just trying to win the football game. College football, obviously, they're trying to win the football game, no doubt. But those kids are obviously trying to make it. It's subconsciously there. You can't argue that it's just naturally there that it's this more of a survival instinct versus a let's go get the W. Especially if you feel like, hey, if I can make a few moves, I can be considered. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Let me ask you this. It's going to touch on that just to finish things off.
Yeah,
do you believe in I'll throw this out there to you as an open-ended kind of a touch point here. Do you believe that that's what makes the Bamas and the Georgias so good is because they never come off that variance. They never use the what if I could make a big play. They always just stay within the system.
It's boring football.
All they do is stay within the system. It is, but they just win.